Mike Moore Media.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Matt and Seth podcast. We have officially taken over Mike Moore Media, luckily for everyone, just for this morning. Hey, Seth, how are you?
Hey, Matt. Good to be here. Mike, thanks for letting us use your studio. Thanks for everything that you've done for us over the last several months.
All right, well, this is the big push. So, start of early voting. If you guys have been following along with the podcast, we've taken you through our journey for Seth's run for lieutenant governor. But this is the last stretch for our Republican primary. Seth, take us through a little bit of what we've been doing these past couple weeks to prepare for the big day on March 5th.
So our last podcast with Mike was about a month ago, and since then, we've been all over the state. I can't begin to tell everybody exactly where, but I know over the last week we've been in Wake County. We've been in we've been to Raleigh, we've been to Charlotte, we've been to Ocean Isle, we've been to Bolivia. We were in Duplin County this past Saturday. 2 events in Brunswick County. We had a event last night in Wilson, North Carolina. We've got to be in Orange County tomorrow. We're doing an educators forum this evening at the farmhouse, and just trying to get educators and parents involved in education, because we really want to use this job as lieutenant governor to change education in this state.
Yeah, I think education, one, has been a hallmark of our campaign, and it's really one of the more important roles of the lieutenant governor. They sit on the Board of Education and the board for community colleges.
Yeah, and that's kind of, it is. You're right when you say that it's a hallmark of our campaign. Starting out of this, on this journey, we were looking at, how can we change education? How can we change the future for children? Because children are our future, and we've got to invest in them. So that's what we're trying to do. And as the lieutenant governor, we'll be able to sit on the board for public education and community colleges. And we need to make sure that our educators take politics out of education. What we've seen over the last 10 years is there's been a huge push to basically teach ideology in school, and we need to teach academics and just make sure our kids know reading, writing, arithmetic. If they can read, write, and do math, they can pretty much learn to do anything.
And on the community college front, you, I think, have a unique perspective than a lot of the other candidates, because community college was a big part of your life and your educational journey and ultimately your career choice, wasn't it? Oh,
for sure. When I was in high school, I really didn't have an outlook on college, and when I was 18, decided, hey, what have I been doing? Was pretty much told that I wouldn't be able to go to college because I didn't have the prerequisites, and so worked with the school counselors at Moorhead, and we took a placement test at Rockingham Community College, started there, and transferred out. So I have a true passion for community colleges, because without community colleges, I certainly wouldn't be where I am today. So we want to see more partnerships between the community and community colleges. We want to try to take the stigma out of, working with your hands. I think we need skilled laborers, and Rockingham Community Colleges and the other 57 community colleges in the state really have some tremendous ability to create laborers, and I'm talking skilled laborers, heating and air, mechanics, tradespeople, and we need those in our communities to make sure that the state continues to grow.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, it's been incredible, the journey that we've had. We have gone literally from coast to coast in this state. Coming up is the big push. We don't want to end here. It's a Republican primary that's coming up. I'd like you to tell people a little bit about how they can go out there and vote for us so we can keep this going.
Yeah, so you said we've been coast to coast. We've been mountains to coast, Murphy to Mania. But we were, 2 weeks ago, we were up around Murphy, North Carolina. Then this past week, we were down in Brunswick County. So we have been from one end of the state to the other, and it is a big state, I'll tell you that. All 100 counties. We've tried to hit them the best that we can, and we've tried to stop and actually engage with the citizens in each of these counties, because they're the ones that, we want to work for them. As politicians, we work for we the people. This is not a position for ourselves. We need to do this with a servant's heart and a servant's mind, and get out there and do what's best for the state. But it is a big state, but we've been well received everywhere we've gone. We've done really well and been invited back to, I think, 100% of the places we've been invited back to.
The reception's been incredible. Just meeting the people, I think they can tell to sincerity in Seth, his qualifications, and that he is truly the guy for this lieutenant governor's job to help lead the thoughts and the understanding of the people moving forward. But this is early voting, so this is the opportunity to cast your vote to keep Seth moving forward in this election.
Yeah, so early voting started back on February the 15th. That was last Thursday. And, it runs through March 2nd, and then there's a couple of days off, and then Super Tuesday is March 5th. That is the actual election day. But we need people to get out and vote and, bank your votes. Go out and vote, and we'll be using those on Election Day to win this race. But it's very important to get out and do that. We have a civic obligation as citizens of this state to get out and choose who you think the best leaders would be.
And I think we've done wonderful. And the feedback so far from early voting has been great. Every day we're getting text messages, emails from people saying they came out and voted for us, that they're supporting us. But as his campaign manager, I got to ask people, what would be wonderful is if anyone has time and opportunity. I know it's difficult with everyone's busy lives, but to help out at the polls. A lot of people still come out to vote that are undecided or need to know more about the candidate. So we'd love to have people out there at your local polling location spreading the word about Seth Woodall. And we have at our office what are these candidate palm cards that if anyone would like to stop by at 640 Fag Drive at Seth M. Woodall and Associates to pick up and hand out at the polls. And I know you know how important it is, Seth, to have support out there each day.
It is. The support that we've gotten across the state has been, humbling to say the least. But we've got 100 counties, and we're trying to get folks in all 100 counties to go out and work the polls on certain dates for us. And I know it takes time out of individuals' days, but it is important. And so if anybody wants to try to help us, doesn't matter what county, what precinct, we need the help. And they can reach out to Matt or come by the office if you're local, and we'll be glad to plug you in. We need volunteers.
Right. And if you want to contact me and, we're willing to mail out some of those palm cards, figure out any way we can to help those that are going to help us, you can reach me at Woodall, WOODLL, .campaign@gmail.com or on my cell phone at 404-384-6544. But as Seth said earlier, we have some exciting stops coming up. If you want to highlight, Seth, a couple of the places that people can come see you, because I know some people haven't had the opportunity to see him in person, and I think it's really impressive when you do.
Well, locally tonight, we're going to have the Educators Forum, which is not so much about me as it is about education in our community. But I will be speaking at that, and that's at the Farmhouse in Eden. And I think, what time is that, 6?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. So we'll have some food there for dinner and drinks. And then tomorrow during lunchtime, we're going to be in Orange County at the Chapel Hill Country Club speaking. That's at 12 noon at the Chapel Hill Country Club. Then on Saturday, we're going to be in Stanley County, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
So what do you know what time?
I believe it is at noon, at Stanley County. It's going to be a rally with for Mark Robinson, who's running for governor, along with some of your other candidates for the Council of State position. So it's a great opportunity to see everyone that's going to be on the ballot.
Yeah, so I'm looking here. That's in Stanley County. That's February the 24th. That's this Saturday at 12 noon. And it's going to be at the Tuscan Ridge venue, which is in Oakboro, North Carolina. The address is 21480 East 8th Street, Oakboro, North Carolina. That's 21480 East 8th Street, Oakboro, North Carolina. And that is a Mark Robinson rally. Mark has kind of created his own rallies across the state and is getting tremendous numbers at these events. And allowing some of the other candidates to speak and be heard, and so it's really putting us in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about it, and Mike's done a wonderful job highlighting a lot of the issues, but would love to hear, Seth, just for the listeners to hear one more time, some of the issues and some of the platforms that you're really running on and that you're passionate about. I know we talked about education, but there's at least 4 other topics that have been really, really important to our campaign.
Yeah, our campaign's pretty much founded on 5 principles and what we want to try to push when we get into office, and one is standing behind law enforcement and first responders. We need to treat these guys better than we do. They need to be paid better than they have been, and they need a certain level of respect in the community. 2 is the Second Amendment. I'm a constitutional carry proponent. I will push for legislation to allow constitutional carry in the state of North Carolina. I believe that we have a right to bear arms and that we need to exercise that. Third is the economy. North Carolina's done a fabulous job legislatively over the last several years of creating a business-friendly environment in the state. The state corporate income tax rate is probably one of the lowest in the country. And so it's really attracted a lot of large businesses, especially in the Triad area. We need to try to push for other areas, and we need legislation that's going to bring industry and manufacturing into some of the more rural communities, which takes having employees. When these major companies look at where they're going to go, they're looking at, do we have skilled employees that can come in and work in our plants? And that's where my ability to partner with community colleges, I think, will come in hand. And we will do that. So we're going to push for legislation that's beneficial to these companies and to the families of the state. And then election integrity. North Carolina has a election ID law, voter ID law, which is kind of cutting edge in the nation, but it still has some loopholes that need to be closed. And we're going to work to close those loopholes to make sure that our elections are fair. So basically, we're running on a campaign of law and order, Second Amendment, small government, pro-capitalism economy, voter election fairness, and education.
Yep. So, and I know we're having our educators forum tonight, but I think what's really important, and it's been important from the beginning of our campaign, is we want to hear from everyone, regardless of the issue that you feel passionate about. We want you to contact us. Tell us how you feel about it. Feedback from the people of North Carolina is really what we're looking for, because we want to make a difference, and we can only make a difference if you let us know what's really affecting you. And I promise you, at any time, we are open, phone calls, emails, even if you send us something on social media. We want to hear your feedback. We want to know what's affecting you, and we want to know how we can make this state better.
Yeah, because we can't adequately represent the citizens of the state if we don't know what the issues are. So we're absolutely looking for people to give us positive feedback and let us know the problems and give us an opportunity to try to figure out a solution.
And one more time, if you don't mind letting everyone know where they can go to find their either local early voting places or where they can go to find their election day polling places.
So you can they can Google just local Board of Elections, and the Board of Elections will tell them exactly where they can go in their local area to vote. For instance, in Eden right now, the public library on Pierce Street is the primary voting spot for Eden right now. There will be additional precincts that open up on March the 5th, but you can go to your local Board of Elections website, and they can tell you exactly where you'll need to vote. Yep. And you will need an ID this year.
You will. Bring your ID. I already voted, and I can confirm that they're checking. But yeah, go to your local Board of Elections website. It has lots of great information about all of your polling places, the hours of operation, and then for Election Day on March 5th, which is the busiest voting day, where you can go. They're going to open up more polling locations, so it should be nice and convenient somewhere local for you. And we hope you participate. This is what makes America great, is your ability to go in and really make a difference to your elected officials. And we want the people to know that we are going to make a difference and we are going to listen to you. So I think your vote would be well spent on Seth Woodall.
And most importantly, man, when you go out to the polls, vote for Seth Woodall.
That's right. Remember that. Well, any closing words for the people, Seth?
No, we just want to thank everybody for your continued support. And like I tell everybody at these events, we need more prayers than we do votes. So continue to pray for all of the candidates, pray for us. And, we look forward to serving you in 2025 and moving forward.
Well, yep, it's been incredible, this opportunity. And we want to thank everyone so much who's been supportive throughout this whole entire time, including the employees over at Seth M. Woodall and Associates. And I know our families as well.
For sure.
This message was paid for by the committee to elect Seth Woodall, candidate for Lieutenant Governor.